Hello everybody, Jimmy from Jimmy's Saber Junk here. Sorry for the noise in the background. I do have my 3D printer running, currently printing out a new hilt design that I've been working on. I always 3D print the hilts to double check the scale. Even though I've got measurements on my 3D designs, I always double check by printing them, putting them in my hand and going, yeah, that feels great. So, do forgive the noise. I hope it's not too loud. Today I'm going to be walking you through my Ventress design, JSJ Ventress, which was available through Korbanth. All of the empties are now sold out. I believe that it's just their installed ones that are left in stock. I get messaged a lot, are you doing another run of these? Since I own all of my designs, all of my hilt designs, it's something that I will consider. Get messaged by quite a few people, when's the next run of these? I don't have an immediate one planned, but I would like to do another run without changing anything because they work so well. I know there's the CC Sabers version that came out just a tiny bit before the JSJ version came out. Those who waited, well done. I believe it was worth it. But I'll see about doing another run at some other time, hopefully soon. These were extraordinarily popular just because of how easy they are to install. They were really well made. The factory did a bloody awesome job on these. These are absolutely fantastic. I think the sliding red switch being functional is a big plus. Sorry. I've just got back in from work, so I'm a little bit tired. And the fact you could easily put these together as a really awkward staff was also a big plus. It's the most uncomfortable staff to hold in the world, but they do go together nevertheless. You can't. It's like an S shape. I'll show you at the end. It's so bizarre. Right, where to begin? So, so we're going to walk you through the installation of the chassis, which is available through the Saberbay as STLs and a 3D print. It will come with the main body, which I've already got wired in here, so I'm doing this post having these installed for a few months, so forgive me. I won't show you the whole entire process, but you'll come with this main part of the chassis. You'll get this tiny part here, well it's not that tiny, but and it will come with a 3x2x4 switch, which you just glue onto this face here by my fingernail. Yeah, you just glue that onto there with the wires on, and you'll run the wires underneath this pad here, so they'll literally run underneath here and here. So you'll run those through the hilt into your chassis once you've got the PCB on the other end, and then you'll bring it to the board that you can then solder on. But before you do all of that, there is I'm trying to do this without dropping all the screws out of it that I currently have. You'll put the plunger in. This is a little plunger here, which I can't do it right now because the screws are screwed out. But that plunger there is your, you can set it up as a secondary switch or as your primary switch. It's entirely up to you. I use this as my power, and I use the red sliding switch as my aux. Nice and easy, nice and simple. So once you've got all that wired up and you're happy with it, and you've got your battery, your stock speaker, battery, PCB settled in there, all wired up, and as far as you're concerned, you've got that in, it's all wired up, got your switches wired up. All you do, grab this, which has your red sliding switch, slide it in here, and drop it in like so. And then whilst it's in here, what you can do is then do up the 4 screws that are close to the center line of the Saber, like so. Just twist your chassis around enough to be able to get your Allen key in here. You don't need to be wrenching on your chassis because otherwise you're going to be destroying your wires. There we go. So that's in place now. You can now push your chassis in, test your feedback on your hidden black plunger. Don't have to worry about your plunger falling out. This bit will remain static inside the hilt. Once you've got those 4 screws done up, you will also have a tiny screw as so, which you then put on the end of the Allen key, and you have to drop it into the threaded hole that leads into the claw. It's just on the inside. Oh, look at that, got that in first time. Not sure if that's clear or not. Just stand up so I can see, don't stand in the light. And then do that up through the blade retention hole, like so. Then that's on there nice and tight. Same Allen key, blade retention, grub screw, stick it on the end, and get that in place. And then you can test your feedback on your red switch. And if I push that forward, you might not be able to hear it over the printer, but I'm happy with that. Very good. So then, got your main hilt. You don't ever have to take these 4 screws out. They can stay there nice and tight. Slide this in, and you're thinking this is a bit loose. When it slides in there, fits in there, it won't move around, it won't budge, it'll be nice and solid. Squeeze in these 2, I've forgotten what I called them, thin panels on the side, so they fit under the collar, like so. You've got 4 screws here. This would be a miracle if I can do it without dropping them. And there's 4 screw positions down the emitter. Get them in there. Without doing what I did. Take your time, get it right. There we go. I find I just drop them into position, thread them up. Not too tight at this point. Get the other 3 in. Awkward silence as I concentrate on doing this. How was your day? Mine was long. Got to go to the station, pick up my fiance soon. This is a perfect opportunity for me to do a quick video walking you through one of my favourite hilts. I am critical of my own designs. I try to be as critical as possible, but these are a beautiful set of hilts. In comparison to what we've seen in terms of Ventress hilts elsewhere, they are inexpensive, dead easy to install, functioning red switch, great sound venting, good size speaker, then go in the bottom there, removable battery, a lot of pluses that you haven't seen on any Ventress hilts before. Though the one thing I will be critical of my own design is I can't get a crystal chamber in there just to the nature of the setup, but it's what you sacrifice in order to get that removable battery. So these are more functional than display, even though they look awesome. So now I've got all 4 screws in there loosely. I'm just going to nip them up, just finger tight, don't have to go nuts. Just like with everything, if there's multiple screws, do them up to a point and then do them up tight once they're all in there and in position. Right, happy with that. So, very happy with that. Get rid of you, don't need you. Okay, moment of truth. Grab your battery sled, this is a 25mm KR speaker. There is a 22mm version as well. How big is that actually? Now the reason I haven't got 28 in there, well, off the top of my head, is because we wanted something for it to shut against. So it's wide enough to take a 28, but equally the inside of this has to press onto there, and I didn't want any interference on here and here. If you're coming up with your own custom chassis, then you can do what you like, but I always have to design chassis for the every person. Otherwise, if I design stuff that people struggle to print at home or struggle to use, too much detail, for example, ruin the print, I will just get complaints and people want their money back. I'm not about that. I like to make you as happy as possible. Sometimes that is just keeping the chassis simple. Insert my battery, flip my power on, and what I do is, because I've got the stock PCB on this end as well, slide that in. There's only one way it can go in. It can only go in that way. If you try to do it that way, well, that just ain't going to go, is it? Nice and easy. I always grab my cap.
The pleasure's all mine.
Slide it in one go, get your audio feedback. So with the hilt, it should have come with 4 of these. Accurate screws, as accurate as they can be. And then 2 cover techs, which are optional. You'll have 2 of these end panels, and then you'll have the joining parts between the hilts. And so I'm only going to screw in 1. Very happy with that. Grab my test blade, Quillian blade, just because I don't have that much space around my desk. And there we have it. I'm quite happy with that. I say quite, I mean very. So, and I'll show you now the grand awkwardness of putting this into staff mode. It's there, I know, it's awkward. I mean, you could couple it like that, but then that would look even more bizarre. Croissant Saber. So we'll just do it this way, like so.
The pleasure's all mine.
Stick this in here. So with the sound venting on these, very straightforward. Speaker projects the sound directly out of the bottom vent. Ideally, when you come to joint sabers, you don't really want your speaker pointing into another speaker, because you'll just lose all your quality of sound and your venting. So on these ones here, this joiner, I have got sound vents coming out the sides, so the sound isn't immediately interfering from both sides, cancelling out, distorting, trying to make the best possible design.
The pleasure's all mine.
Throw that one back up. Happy that's working. So awkward, but you can do it. This is a great hilt for cosplayers. Let me turn that off, because that's... I've also got the sound of my 3D printer going, as well as the sabers, as I talk, which isn't good. These are great for cosplayers because you can quickly whip the battery out, whip a new one in. Good size, they're not too big, they're probably the perfect size. I gave the test print to the missus, so for her to hold, and she's tiny, got tiny hands, and she was delighted with the size of them. Purely because I can't do this without whacking the sabers all the way around. I might need to clear my space a little bit better. See? But she was very happy that they did small lady size lightsabers. which, if we were to see a live action Ventress, I'd hope they would cast a very small petite lady, seeing as that's how they kind of designed her to be. But hey ho. If we ever do get to see live action, hopefully they can even use my hilts. Who knows? Getting ahead of myself. So I designed these chassis so the positive's down at the bottom. I'm fumbling this, there we go. I promise you, it's a lot easier, it's just that this one's all frayed. This is on my tester batteries. In and out quite easy. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed my little overview. As I say, I own the designs for all of my hilts. I can decide when we do another run or not. I've got a few other projects I need to get out of the way first. Have I got anything I can show you right now? Not quite yet. No, nothing that you haven't already seen before. But yeah, I would like to do another run of these. These were fantastic. I'm so happy with how they turned out. Really nice finish. Dusting. And if you're not aware, there are Saber stands available to purchase the STL from Saberbay. Something I designed specifically for the hilts. They fit in there rather well as separated hilts. Like so, and if you bought an individual hilt, not a pair, there are single hilt stands as well. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Bye.